Hey y'all, welcome to Clickbait. Jackie Designs has launched some really dope keyboards like the Elephant, the Bear 65, the Piggy, and now this, Piggy Smalls. Now this is the Hǎitún 40 and it's a big small keyboard and my first attempt at trying a 40% keyboard layout. Now let's talk about the keyboard and my experience. So the Hǎitún 40 is a gasket mounted 40% keyboard that has the same design language as some of Jackie's other keyboards. It's thick and chonky, and it's the type of keyboard that's gonna turn some heads for sure. If you're not familiar with the 40% layout, you're basically taking a 60% keyboard and removing the number rows, and yes, all the symbols that go with it. So layers are your best friend here. More on this in just a bit. Now the board itself is made of 6063 aluminum with a brass weight and feels hefty in a good way. The thick bezels look fantastic and the front lip curves down, which is actually big enough to rest your palms on while typing. Now the board has a 5-degree typing angle and weighs in at just under 4 pounds. Yeah, it's a chonky little 40. One may ask though, isn't the whole point of a 40% keyboard to give you a smaller footprint on the desk, giving you more space for your mouse? Well, yeah, for sure. But I think what Jackie is doing here is catering to the crowd that loves the layout but doesn't often get loved with unique chonky designs, and for that, this is fantastic. So there will be 2 different sales for this product. The first will be an in-stock sale of 100 units and it will have 4 color options available. You'll have E-white and E-beige, gray, and blue. The group buy will be following the in-stock sale with additional colors and plate options. Now the kit is pretty straightforward and comes with a case of your color choice. A PC plate will come as default with more options available in the group buy sale like I mentioned earlier. You get pour-on gaskets, pour-on alignment gaskets, a daughter board with the JST cable, a 1.2mm hot swap PCB with Bluetooth. Now the in-stock sale will only have a hot swap PCB option and it is a fixed layout. I would have loved to see split spacebar compatibility with the hot swap PCB. With so many layers needed for a 40%, it would make it much easier. Now if you do want split spacebar and other options, you'll need to go with the solder PCB that will be offered during the group buy. Quick note, the unit that I got is an early prototype and it came with a 1.6mm PCB. A battery will not come included with the kit, so that's going to be an additional expense for you if you do decide to go with Bluetooth, so keep that in mind. Also, this keyboard comes with no foams. Assembling the keyboard is pretty straightforward and easy. Just apply the pour-on gaskets and the 2 alignment gaskets on the sides, install the daughter board, drop your PCB into the top housing and screw down the internal frame. Place the bottom case on top, screw it down, and you're done. Now let's talk about my experience here with the 40% keyboard. Now I was really excited to try this layout out myself, and after a few weeks of using it, I gotta say, it's definitely not for me. Much respect to the 40% gang for having the brain power to do this. You're an inspiration really. In my experience, it was just way too much for me to memorize when anything 60% or bigger gives me access to what I need right there on the keyboard. I only tried using it for about a week, so if I tried for maybe 2 weeks, it probably would have become second nature, but I didn't want to. Now does that make this a bad keyboard? Absolutely not. The board is actually a banger. Typing feel is nice and soft and the sound with no foams is clean and crisp. I think the board is a treat for anyone who wants to try out this layout. Speaking of layouts, this is actually how I set up my layers. I use the spacebar as the main function key, which made it easy for me to get to the numbers and symbols. But you can do this any way you want in VIA. Now the switches that I use for today's build are these KTT Wave Rider tactile switches, which are factory lubed and have a light tactile bump. These are pretty dope switches, which I'll link in the description along with the discount code. That's all I got for y'all today. This keyboard is definitely awesome if you're into this layout. I'll catch y'all in the next one. I got some heat on the way, so subscribe if you dig the content. Enjoy the typing test. Peace.